Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 20 of the Frisky Whiskey. As you can see, it's a beautiful day out here in South Florida.
It is.
I want to wish you all a happy 4th of July. I know it's going to come a day after 4th of July, but it's America.
America.
So what are we talking about today, Mike D?
So because we're in America and it's 4th of July, there's no other better place in America that has a history of America than like Virginia does.
It's true.
So tonight we will be doing Virginia Distillery, their VHW series.
Ooh.
So it's interesting. I've actually learned a lot when I went to their website and really actually read what they were doing there. And I broke it down for that. I want our listeners to understand this distillery, what they're making.
Okay.
And it's going to be really cool. Their history, this is one of the new players in the field, so it's not like there's a, that classic history of it.
But there is
1792.
There's still a lot of history in Virginia.
There's a lot of history in Virginia, and that's why I was like, let's do America whiskey. It's not a bourbon; it's just American whiskey.
It is American whiskey.
In Virginia, like I said, it has such a rich history in our United States, and becoming where we are today. So it's going to be really good. So what we have tonight is like I said, the VHW series, and we have a port cask finish, a cedar cask finish.
That middle one right there. And
a Chardonnay cask finish.
Looking forward to that one.
Yes. And if you could tell, these bottles, some of these bottles have been already open. We've hit them before.
Well, it's worth mentioning, we had brought this up many episodes ago, right? Where we were, hey, there's bottles out there that, they've been in our collection. We just never did anything on the show with them. And I think this is one of those reasons and timings for something like this, right?
And we found these guys at the Whiskey Fest. At Miami at the Hard Rock. So that was how we got introduced. So it was a nice introduction.
It was.
If I remember correctly. There was a lot of introductions going on that night. So
and there's a lot of drinking, so it's hard to remember all of them.
So we're gonna jump in here. So we're gonna start with the port cask. And then I guess I'll do the history tonight. Want me to do the history?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, it's up to you.
We're not using a jigger tonight. We're gonna be free pouring. It's America, whiskey.
Unfortunately, Mike D is a good eye still for the exact amount, so we're still getting a half-ounce pours.
Yeah, right. Half-ounce times 5. So the story of Virginia Distillery is the late Dr. George G. Moore had a great passion for single malt whiskey and his adopted home in Virginia. A native Irishman, George came to the U.S. in the 1970s to seek new opportunities. In 2011, after many years of building successful businesses in both the U.S. and Ireland, George finally had a chance to combine his two passions when he started the Virginia Distillery Company. Today, George's wife, Angela Moore, and their son, Gareth Moore.
I think it's Gareth.
Sorry, Gareth. Gareth.
Party on.
Party on, Gareth. Along with his wife, Maggie Moore, have taken the helm and continue building George's dream. So, and what I was talking about, because like I said, this is a VHW series, Virginia Distillery puts themselves in 3 categories for distilling. So they have courage and conviction. And that's a signature line of American Single Malt Whisky. All right. This line includes 9 different whiskeys.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, that's going to be a challenge for us to get through all 9, in my opinion. And I want to get through all 9 because you'll understand why in a second. This line of whiskey features 3 core cask types. Bourbon, sherry, and Cuvee. This collection has won 7 awards, including 2023 Whiskey of the Year at the London Spirits Competition for their Signature Malt Whisky.
Wow.
So, and, they have this one at Total Wine. I saw it there.
All right.
And I look, every time we have a show, we want to go there, we want to go here. I definitely want to go check out this London Spirits Competition. That must be a great event.
Is it open where we could actually get invited?
I don't know. Why wouldn't it be open?
I don't know. Sometimes places are weird.
Yeah. But it's something I think get our hands in somehow. Maybe we can call ourselves press.
Yeah. We're press.
Yeah, we're press to a certain degree. And then their VHW series, which we're doing tonight, is made from 100% malted barley. It's showcasing the traditions of whiskey making from around the world, marrying their American single malt whiskey, made in Virginia, and aged Scotch malt whiskeys. So they're taking American whiskey and Scotch and putting them together. Their offerings include a port cask, a a cedar cast.
The cider cast.
Cider cast. There's a brewer's batch.
Okay.
Which we're not having tonight, obviously, and we're doing the Chardonnay cast.
Okay, so we're doing 3 of the 4.
3 to 4.
That's not bad. That's good.
And then they have this other thing, which I thought this is really cool. They have limited offerings.
Okay.
And their limited offerings are usually typically like single cast specialties.
Okay.
But these offerings are highly unique and one of a kind. Mm-hmm. But what they do with these single offerings, they help charities with these.
Oh, that's cool.
They donate money from the sales, and they also help local groups in Virginia.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool that they
like
do
that.
that. They make these special. They're probably a little more expensive.
Oh, probably, but I mean, it's going to a good cause.
Good cause. So I like that about this. So that's fun. So the port cast is going to have a nose of honey, fig, walnut, and apple. The taste will be barrel smoke, fruit, cocoa, cinnamon, clove, and caramelized sugar.
Ooh, that smells good. This does smell like... I definitely smell the apple, the walnut.
Yeah, that walnut's there. I'm assuming that sweetness I'm getting is that honey fig, and in my nose, there's a hint of apple in there, like a green apple almost,
I like it.
Yeah, so... And it's been a minute since I've had this one, so...
Well, dive into it. You're the one that read the history.
All right, hold on. Actually, let me clear my palate again.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing. I got some friends that decided to get in on it, too.
Yeah, it happens when you sit outside. It's good for you. It's like protein. All right, here I go.
All right, you got to tell me.
There is a light smoke there somewhere. That cinnamon's there. That clove is there. There's that sweetness, and it's like sugar. That is tasty, man. This is a great whiskey. Wow. I mean, this is a whiskey you can bring to the Bicentennial, to your 4th of July party, Memorial Day party, and this is a good American whiskey.
So the smoke is definitely there. So it's like kind of very front.
Yeah.
Right. So when I would almost say it blends in with like a spiciness. Mm-hmm. Right. Which is really nice. But then that fruit comes out and all those other sweet flavors. Yeah. Clove and caramelized sugar. Yeah. I kind of think of clove as sweet. Okay. Right. Because I mean, as far as like spices go.
Clove has a unique flavor, though.
I know, but to me, it's on the sweeter side.
I remember my mom used to put that in her hams.
Yeah, same.
So...
or maybe that's why there was.
But it's something that clove reminds me of winter.
Yeah.
I used to make a dessert when I had the restaurant, and I used to make these baked pears.
Oh, I know
with, with cloves all over it, and it was it's really good. But I mean that sugar at the end, it coats your tongue at the end. Mm-hmm. This is very tasty,
and it's not a lingering finish either. Mm-mm. Which is kind of what I like about it, because
it goes down. Yeah,
it wants you to keep coming back to it.
Yes, and you can. Mm-hmm. I think you can, and I like just a dark amber color. I mean, that's got to come from the sherry too.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
and port.
Yeah, right, because it's a sherry port.
No, this is it's something like that.
So right? We'll see. It
says it right on there. It says port cask.
Port cask. So we're assuming sherry.
Yes.
But what else would it be?
I don't know.
Port. Either way,
port.
Well, no, port wine. So, no, actually, it's not sherry, because there is a port wine. It's usually a very sweet, more of a dessert type of wine. Once upon a time, I used to like it until I got really sick on one. After drinking a whole bottle for some stupid reason when I was younger, when I liked it, and ever since then, I'm if I taste it, I'm
I think that's kind of a problem with all of us when we're young drinkers.
Yes.
We become pseudo obsessed with that one drink, and we're like, we got to have it, and then you overdo it, and then you hate it for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Yeah. I overdid it one night at an event. It was my uncle, and it was this expensive port wine, and I was I killed it. Man.
Not only was it something that you liked, but it was the expensive version.
Of course, it was extremely expensive. So it was expensive getting sick.
Yes. Yeah, not worth it.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not worth it on a cheap one either, but... No, this is nice. I definitely...
I like this neat. I really do.
I'm going to hold out my opinion on its pairing with dinner until we try the next one.
And we had a good dinner tonight.
We did, but I don't want to talk about it until we try the next one.
So we decide which one we're going to pair it with. I agree with that. We're not going to let you guys know yet either. Sweet secret.
We don't even know.
We ate our dinner blind. We have no idea what's going on.
We have no idea what's happening.
It was all over the place, too.
Who are you? Where am I? What is this microphone?
All right, so let's get some ice going.
Absolutely.
So last night I was at a friend's house. You saw me posting.
Yeah.
Last night, and we got a bunch of likes on all of them. And one of the ones I had never had was that Basil Hayden double rye.
The
dark rye. Dark
rye.
And my buddy, he froze it. He put it in the freezer. And it was quite good and smooth and
I know we've talked about doing it.
And refreshing. It was very refreshing. It was like...
What was the one that we were talking about doing that with? There was...
Bushmills 10-year-old.
Oh, yeah, way to go. That's what it was. The Bushmills 10. Are you going to have that ready for the 4th of July? I'm going to take that weird eye look as a yes, it's happening.
There's all kinds of things happening for us. We're at a big party here. T.I. got an arsenal.
I did.
I have a small arsenal. We're going to take... Actually, we're probably going to take over a small island nation with it.
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do.
It's America, after all.
Yeah,
What's more American than taking over a small island?
Exactly. We claim it, get a flag, Frisky Whiskey, claim this land, Frisky Whiskey. And we're going to have a nice little barbecue here. T.I. is doing his magic
on the
brisket, on the smoking, and we're going to do a hot dog bar. And then we're going to do wings, and and then people will be bringing other dishes. Potato salad, Wolfgang, one of our biggest fans. Actually, he listens to every one of our shows.
Oh, heck yeah. What's up, Wolfie?
Yeah, we got to give out a shout.
Yeah,
he's one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
His wife is making the candy bacon.
Oh, my God. That stuff is so good.
And you have to have watermelon, in my opinion, for a 4th of July party.
I'm going to say it. I really don't like watermelon. I know. It's weird. I just never got into it. I like cantaloupe.
I knew there was something wrong. I didn't know what it was until this very moment in time.
Just never got into it. Okay. I don't know. Right. I guess, no, actually, I do like it frozen. Like when you freeze it and it's almost becomes like a little frozen treat.
Yeah,
I like it then. Yeah. But if you just hand me a hunk of it, I'm like, no, I don't want this. It's dripping all over my hand. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, there's something wrong with you. It's all right. It's all right. We're not going to judge you right now, but...
It's all right. Everyone's judging me.
You're getting a look right now on that one, man.
It's all right.
So the smell is... obviously, it mellowed out a little bit.
That's weird, though. Hold on. Something else changed on that.
Yeah, there's a different smell in there. Maybe it's that cocoa? Like Keko? Or...
No. So the...
No, it's definitely not that. It's
like the apple went away.
Yeah.
That's all walnut.
It's all... Yeah, is that what it is?
That's all walnut.
The walnut took over.
It's just earthy.
That's what it is, yeah.
It's
walnut from being earthy, yeah.
That's weird. I would have expected the apple, because usually apple, when you add some some ice to it, usually the apple's the thing that pops out.
The smoke went away. The fruit is much more apparent now. The cinnamon went away, but that sugar's there. That sweetness, right? I mean, this is refreshing, actually. And it's hot out here. It's a little hot in Florida.
It's like 90 degrees.
Yeah,
right
it was
now.
hot today, man. Yeah. I almost killed myself doing yard work today. But I mean, this is refreshing.
I will say that. Now, don't get me wrong. I like it neat, but I actually think I prefer this on ice.
This is, as I said, like I said, refreshing. I'm totally digging this on ice.
Yeah, it's actually
I think I would share this with anybody in both directions, but I would probably lean somebody who likes water or ice in there to try it. Mm. But like I said, on a hot day, who's 90-degree weather, who's gonna sit there and drink whiskey? Us.
Facts.
But with ice, this is refreshing. I really like this. I think I said it like 3 times now. I mean, I can't get over how good this is. And because I haven't had this in a minute, so I've kind of forgotten.
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting the clove in there.
Yeah, that clove came out a little bit more too. That sweet, because it's a sweetness. That clove.
It's 100% like a sweet, but it's not sweet in the traditional sugar sense.
I'm trying to remember clove cigarettes, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm comparing it to. It's like a sweetness.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. It's kind of like that realm, but not as gross.
Right. Right. Well, we all smoked clove cigarettes in high school. Everyone did. Everyone did. See how much like a rite of passage.
Wait, you're not addicted to clove cigarettes yet? Get the hell out of here.
Oh, this is tasty. I like this whiskey.
I like this a lot.
The price point on this was like $46.99. This one I got at ABC Liquor.
Okay.
And it's not a bad price.
That's a really good price.
It's a good American whiskey.
It is.
And you were just talking about this Total Wine. kind of redid their store for us.
Yeah.
I think personally for us, I think they did it for
yes.
us.
We walked in there and they were just like, these guys know what's up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to change the store around.
So they have an entire aisle. If you've been in Total Wine, it's like going in Toys R Us. The aisles are just long as could be. So they have an entire aisle.
Just head right to the middle of the store
for bourbon.
For all your whiskeys.
And then the next aisle over, they did half an aisle of rye and a half an aisle of American whiskey, which was the best thing they could have done for us.
It really was.
But
also opened up, it opened up all the other sections because it was always crammed.
Yes.
Right? But now I saw a lot of empty shelf, which means they're going to be bringing in a lot more variety.
Yes.
Which means we're going to probably get some of the harder to find stuff finally coming to our store, which means we'll be able to buy it and put episodes for them.
And what was still fun was now that all that rye's together, where it's not like crammed in that one little section, there's like, and they added more rye. There was no way.
Oh, no, there's a ton of rye in there.
And it was like an amazing amount of rye. Like, it was tough for me to walk out of that store the other day because I was getting a bottle of wine for a friend's dinner last night.
Well, that's what happened to me when I went in there. I bought like 3 bottles.
I stopped myself. There was like, I think me and you were talking about. I can't remember the name of it. We both saw it. We know where it is on the shelf. Yeah. It was screaming my name, like, dude, take me home. Take me home with you right now. Yeah. Time to come home. You know. And it's just, but like, I was looking at all that right, and then like I moved down to the American whiskey section, and you know that's where I saw the bottle of Chardonnay cask, and they had the other one, the 4th one, and they had the Courage and Conviction.
The brewer's batch there.
They had the single malt whiskey, the one that won the whiskey of the year.
Oh, nice!
And I didn't know that until after I did this. After I went to that, or I would have picked that. I would have picked it up.
It would have been cool if we also had the brewer's batch here and just had all 4 of the VH.
All 4 of the VH, yeah. But you know, I think I'm going to look a bit harder. Maybe they have some of the other Courage and Conviction ones, and see what we can do with that.
Absolutely.
You know, because like this is just so good, and I can't wait to go to the next one, which I think we're getting ready for the next one.
Yeah, I think we are.
All right, let's do a little last cleaning. So last week was fun, man, with our friend.
Yeah,
Chef
I hope you
Christoph.
guys all enjoyed that episode. That was a fun episode for us to put together, and
I know it went a little bit long.
It was a little bit on the long side.
It was well worth it. I mean, for me, it was. I mean, I was doing food dances.
Chef Christoph was such a cool dude.
He was awesome to hang out with, man.
Such a cool guy. And then, you know, the food was amazing. Mike D, shout out to you for the perfect pairings on the whiskeys.
Thank you.
Like, they all went perfectly together.
Thank you. I think it's a knack for me.
I think so.
When I had my restaurant, I was really good at pairing wines with our dishes.
Well, now you've drank enough whiskeys, you can start pairing the foods.
I think that's. I want to make that a thing somehow. I want to make that. I want to be like the master
pairer,
whiskey food pairer guy.
The master whiskey guy.
Yeah, I would be something like that. Well, you're technically going to be the master whiskey guy suddenly, because you took like 19 courses on the Whiskey University.
Hey, you know, I'm just trying to earn my degree. You know? I didn't actually go to college, so I need to earn it somewhere.
I need a degree somewhere. Put on your application. I have a whiskey degree in bourbon, and
I'm wicked smart, kid. Don't worry about it.
Do you know anything about Uncle Nearest? Start lecturing the guy during an interview. All right, so now we're moving into our cedar cask.
The cider cask.
Cider cask.
Why you keep calling it cedar?
I don't know what my fucking. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I don't know what my problem is.
I don't know if cedar would be good.
Honestly, I was delirious today after doing yard work. Like I was literally dehydrated. Like I came inside, took a shower, I came out of the shower, I just broke out in sweat again. Like I had to change my shirt after taking a shower. Oh. Like that's how like I overdid it today. Yeah. It was hot today, man.
Yeah, you got to be careful out here in that Florida sun. It'll get you, especially in the humidity of the summer.
Yeah.
It'll definitely creep up on you. So this one's much lighter.
So our nose for this one, the cider cask is.
I gotta rinse out.
Yeah, we gotta rinse out too. But we have a apple, vanilla, and toasted pecan. All right, I like that. And then the taste should be like a honeycomb, vanilla, butterscotch, creamy, and biscuit. I love that name, biscuit.
Doing it all for the biscuit.
You know, when I was redoing one of my bathrooms, it's so funny. And we were at I think it was Home Depot, and we were looking for a toilet. They actually have a color called biscuit, which is bizarre to me, just because.
And I guess if you want to sit down on biscuits every day.
You know, I mean, like, I was like, it didn't match. It wasn't going to match our bathroom, but I'm like, we should just get that color, just because.
You think someone out there has a full-on biscuit bathroom?
I want to meet that person. That would be awesome.
Okay, if anyone out there has a biscuit colored bathroom, you need to like chat Mike D, comment on this episode. Mike D apparently has a thing with biscuit colored bathrooms.
Yeah. So That smell, it's very light. It's a very light smell. I think the apple's hinted there.
Honestly, the toasted pecan is like the strongest.
Yeah, that's what. That's
it actually reminds me of like a pecan pie.
Yeah, yeah, it's got that. Yeah, exactly. So let's go in.
Yeah. All right, so this one we should be tasting honeycomb, vanilla, butterscotch, creamy, and biscuit.
That vanilla's there, that butterscotch is there, that creamy's there, the honey's there. I mean, I don't know about the biscuit part just yet, but the first four just immediately hit my mouth. Like, that's so good.
Wow.
That's so good, and so like this neat is perfect right now. Like this is like so like, there's no spice at all.
Well, for me, there's a touch, but it immediately breaks into like. It breaks into. Hold on. So it's very light. Like, I mean, I guess like any whiskey kind of spice, but then it's like immediately kind of a creamy, and as the flavor starts fading away, you get vanilla honeycomb.
Yeah. And
then it finishes with that biscuit. That's really nice.
Oh, this is so tasty.
Ooh, this is tasty.
Yeah. This is very tasty.
It's very light too. Like this is
very light. This is definitely very light.
This is good whiskey.
Yeah.
I know it's probably going to kill it too much to put on ice, but
we're going to do it though. We're going to
have to for the people, for science.
You know what? I think what we need to start doing for our show going forward is keep that eyedropper close. I have the eyedropper. I'm not going to get it right now, but maybe when we think the ice is going to be too much, we just pull out the eyedropper.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think we need to start doing that more. Learn from our friend Steve, who we're going to get back on the show soon.
Yeah.
You know, we'll shout out to Steve, have a good time with him on the show. Yeah. We're going to do a weeded show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We're going to pick some up.
It's going to be sneaky.
We'll get a new liquor store for that one, too.
We'll tell about that experience. Yeah.
See how it goes.
Hopefully fine.
We're going to go there on Monday and check it out, see what happens.
Yeah, we are going golfing on Monday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, it's going to be a good time Monday.
You got to do that. Well, we'll see if I can do another crazy shot over the tree, and hopefully not this time. And not almost kill an old person.
Kill probably a veteran.
Yes. I don't want to do that. Although I will be very excited for a good shot. I would still feel bad. No, this one's really good.
So you know what I was watching today? It was on Netflix, and it's actually, you can't be more American than this either. I was watching the documentary on American Gladiator. Remember that show?
Oh, I love that show.
Oh, yeah. So there's so much, obviously, I did not know about that show. Yeah. And I used to watch it. First, I didn't realize it was on for 7 years.
Dang, really?
I didn't realize that.
That's a good chunk of my childhood.
Yeah, it's a good chunk right there. And, like, what these guys actually went through, besides doing the steroids, they're getting to that point right now, and how much, like, so many people, like, got very hurt.
Yeah.
Like, on the first season, this one woman, man, they showed it, man. I don't know if you're a football fan, everyone knows there's a famous football hit injury from Lawrence Taylor on Joe Theismann. Mm. And whenever they show it, you have to stand up. Like, oh, ow, you know, like, and when this woman, her leg went in a certain direction, and you just, like, I stood up like, oh, like I felt it for a second. It was like, that's how, because they did it in slow motion. I hate when
I hate when they do that.
Oh, I hate when
you see
the
leg go.
But like these American Gladiators, man, they literally, back in those days, there was no like regulations like protecting them.
No.
And like when you watch the show, I mean, you should watch this documentary. I think it's like a 3 or 4 part series. I just finished number 2. Like the guys who made the show had no idea what they were doing, no idea how to really make the challenges. Or what they were doing with the show. Just like, oh, let's just do this, try that. They finally got with like a Marine Corps drill sergeant guy that does like that. He was like doing those private drill, you know, those private things I'm talking about. And like they started thinking, and they met with these other people. They started making better ideas after season 1.
So they started basically. So they had them come in do like mini boot camps.
Yes.
Like private boot camps.
Yes, they had. Yes, and they actually
running obstacle courses. They took ideas from the obstacle courses,
and they met with people who had like, oh, listen, instead of like, there was that one where they would fight with the javelins.
Yeah.
So originally, the first episode, the first year, they were like on a thin plank.
Yeah.
So and then the next year, after they realized it, they went to where these guys were on these platforms.
Yep.
And that made a difference. So they made all these changes as the show evolved, and it went from like the first half of season 1 was like trial and error. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Second half, they started making changes. And then season 2 was like, they really kind of got their act together. And the funny thing was, this drill sergeant, he actually trained all the contestants. And in the very beginning, he was showing the contestants things that he wasn't showing the gladiators, and the contestants were kicking their butts.
That's awesome.
And at one point, one of the guys, I don't know if it was Nitro or one of the other guys, he goes to him and he's like, dude, you need to show us the hell you're showing these guys. Like, we want to kick some ass too. Because they were getting their butts beat. And it's funny because you hear these guys like in the interviews, and like there was this one guy that they had who was like portraying himself as like the surfer guy. Had all these muscles, and they were like, if you played football and when you hit somebody, and if the guy got up and he was like squinting his eyes very fast, you couldn't take a hit. And it's like after the first show, they knew this guy couldn't handle it. And by the end of the first season, he was off the show. Like he took a whack from somebody and like wasn't the same person afterwards.
Oh, dang.
No matter how big you are, it doesn't matter if you're muscular.
No.
Some guys take a hit, some guys can't take a hit.
Yeah.
But I'm only up to episode 2. It's really watch it. It's on Netflix.
That sounds interesting.
I'm assuming if you're drinking whiskey and you're maybe a little bit older, you remember this show.
I love
it was
American
famous,
Gladiator.
man. I used to watch it every Saturday.
It was my jam.
Every single Saturday.
It was my jam.
And the story how it got picked up and what they did to make it get picked up was really interesting. It's kind of interesting, but it's getting to the good parts now. They just now started touching them to steroids.
Okay.
And
So we're getting deeper into the history, the history,
the dark side of it's coming out now. What these guys are doing, the partying they were doing.
Okay.
And especially with the men, how they were getting all kinds of women.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I remember it being like a thing where you could go into like Target and pick up one of their shirts, like because they had the fan shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember all that stuff.
Yeah. And it's funny, like when they show the guys now and they show them back then, it's just like, wow, if it happens in your age, like God. I must have been so.
Didn't they do a remake of American Gladiator at some point? I could have sworn they did.
I don't remember. If they
I could have sworn they did, and
it must have like went over me or something.
What's like the XFL?
Yeah, which keeps coming back. I don't know why. I'm sorry,
bro. I burn out all my energy on the NFL.
I'm done.
Yeah, I don't want to watch football again.
You know what? Football is not a springtime sport. It's just not.
No, it's meant. You're supposed to have the Thanksgiving game. You're supposed to like watch the Macy Day Parade and then watch some football and then eat some food and go into a coma while football game's on. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
Also stress yourself out in fantasy football.
Yeah.
But like the XFL, and the USFL are kind of coming out around the same time period.
Yeah.
So it's like too much of this other football coming out at the same time.
What was it like a couple years ago? They tried another one. And that one failed.
Yes. What was that one?
I actually kind of got into that one because I just passively would watch it, and it was actually pretty decent. But then they shut it down, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm just never.
Was it shut down because of COVID?
No, it was before COVID.
Okay.
It didn't make it a full season.
Yeah,
they ran out of funding.
Yeah, it's.
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, and today, what today is, right?
Today?
What's today's date?
Today is the second. No, first of July.
So, the 1st of July. If you're from New York, you're gonna know what I'm talking about right now. Today is Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Bobby Bonilla?
You know who he is?
No.
Okay. So
educate us.
Okay, so if you're a sports fan, especially a baseball fan from New York, you know this day very well. It was actually in the news. It was actually in the news today. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Oh. He was a baseball player. He played for the Mets. Stopped playing baseball in 2001.
Okay,
but he had signed this big contract with the Mets, and even today, I'll go into that too. But he signed it, and the contract. Part of that contract was deferred to payments later.
Okay,
right, and his was. It happens today, too. You see those big contracts, these guys get like $320 million. Yeah. They're not getting all that money, actually. Yeah. Actually, parts of that is actually deferred for later in his life.
Yeah.
Okay? So
it's like a retirement.
Kind of, exactly.
Yeah.
So every year on July 1st, Bobby Bonilla gets $1.5 million from the New York Mets.
Nice.
He hasn't played baseball since 2001. So what year is this?
Oh, it's 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes on for another 14 years.
Hell yeah.
So he gets it to like 2036.
My boy's got hooked up.
So, but his was the most unique of all these type of contracts. And actually, it was like the one that, set a precedent that they do that. They also learn not what to do. The biggest problem with that contract was that payment got hit with interest.
Ooh.
To pay him.
Nice.
So he got hit with, so they don't do that now. Now, if they have these big contracts, there is no interest. They just get an X amount up to a certain age limit.
Okay.
But it's a joke in New York because he didn't really do. He was a good baseball player, decent baseball player. He just didn't really blow it up in New York.
Yeah.
And when you play for a New York team, is extra media, extra scrutiny. You're expected to be a champion.
Yeah, but I thought the Mets were kind of like, eh.
Exactly.
I like the Mets because they're like hometown heroes.
Exactly, but
like the underdogs.
Once again, you signed this guy, and he was supposed to take you to the World Series, and he didn't, and he's getting paid. So it's half about the money a day.
I love that.
Here's a little piece of history too. Steve Young, everyone knows who Steve Young is. He's a quarterback for the 49ers. He started out in the USFL.
Okay,
the ones that are in the 80s.
Yeah,
and he had a contract that he gets, and it was like he got his paid, and then it waited like 15 or 20 years, and then now he's getting paid for the next 20 years, $1 million a year. Right. Because of this contract he signed with the USFL that went defunct in 1985.
But they still have to pay him.
They still have to pay him every year.
Damn.
And this annuity that they set up for him, he gets paid $1 million a year.
That's pretty baller.
I think he has like another 5. I think he has like another 10 more years on it too.
Damn.
So that's kind of interesting too.
Man, I need a contract like that. Anyone out there want to sign me up for something? I will be like a professional whiskey taster, and then I'll retire or something, and then you can just pay me $1 million a year.
Professional whiskey taster.
Hey, I'm going to school for it, so
you are. How about you get like a bottle a year for the next like 50 years?
No. I want $1 million. I want the money. I'll buy all my own bottles. Thank you very much.
That is really tasty. Mm-hmm. So now, based off what we were secretly eating.
No, not yet. Not until we have it on ice.
Okay. Oh, true that.
Not until we have it on ice.
True that.
But I'm already kind of leaning one way.
Okay. So last night, I think my first post was that Aberfitty.
Yes.
That's I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but Aberfitty is the actual one of the main scotches that is used to blend Dewar's.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was a 15-year-old we had, and it was very smooth. The 12-year-old is the one that is part of the blending of the Dewar's.
All right.
So that's a little history right there for you too.
Do you know which Dewar blends it goes into? Or?
White label.
Okay.
Yep. Goes into the white label one.
I mean, that is one of my favorite Dewars.
And it's what? It's a classic. It's been around forever.
People can knock it all they want, but it's not super expensive and it tastes good.
It's good whiskey.
It's solid. It's a solid, cheap whiskey.
But you know what? Back to America for a second. This Virginia Distillery Company, man. They're right now. I'm like, I was very happy here. And I'm very happy here too.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are doing a really good job, man. Like,
and the flavor profile is unreal, man. It's seriously, whatever it says here is literally what you're pulling.
All right, so let's.
So they called it right.
Let's get some ice going here.
And then honeycomb was super nice too.
Yes. I'm gonna do 1 cube.
1 Cuvee.
1 Cuvee. All right, Virginia. What's that? Wasn't that like a popular song? "Take Me Home, Virginia." Or,
That's West Virginia. Take me home.
Is it
to the place?
Yes.
I belong, West Virginia.
It's like a drinking song, like at a bar.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been played at multiple weddings I've gone to in the last couple of years.
Yeah, because it's a thing.
It's a thing.
John Denver.
Is that John Denver?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought he was from Colorado.
Is it because his name's Denver?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, Mr. Denver.
Yes, Mr. Colorado.
So, real quick, last night we were at my friend's house for dinner, and his brother-in-law, who just moved here from Colorado, was showing me pictures, right? And, like, first he's showing me pictures of snow, and, like, that's ridiculous what they deal with. But then, like, in the spring and summertime, dude, he's got, like, these giant elks running through his backyard.
Yeah. No, Colorado's built different. I love that out there. God. I love it out there.
Like, I was like, okay.
Have you ever been?
No, I want to go.
Oh, man. You're missing out.
I know. Okay, so let's go back to the tasting here. Smell.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah, it smells different. I think that.
So it's not as sharp.
No, it's not as sharp.
Right, so that there was a sharpness when you first got into it.
Yeah. I think apple's a little more present now.
Apple and the pecan's still there.
Yeah. Vanilla kind of went away a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully it's still stuck around in the flavor. All right, what are you getting on flavor, though? Did it get better?
It's not as creamy. I feel like the creaminess went away a little bit. Was that just me?
No, you're not wrong.
No, the creaminess went away.
Oddly enough, the spiciness that we were getting at the initial
kind
of
got more.
Yeah, it got a little bit.
It's actually weird. That's usually a little unusual for when you
but there's
add
vanilla
the
and honeycomb there.
Yeah, the vanilla's there, but that spice came back. The spice that wasn't.
It's weird. It's like elevated.
Yeah, it's elevated. It's unusual that ice does that.
Yeah, I think there's only one other whiskey that we've tried where the ice actually made it spicier. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a rye.
I think I would lean towards this one on the neat side. Mm-hmm. Right? Is it right? I mean, it's not bad on ice, But if I was to suggest this to
well,
anybody,
the complexity of the flavor's gone away, right?
yeah,
So
it's not. Yeah, that's exactly. It's like that feeling you were getting from the neat is gone.
yeah.
And I think the ice mellowed it out a little bit too much.
All right,
Brought out
so
the spice, which I didn't know was even there.
now that we've officially done this,
well, we have to do that one, right?
well, no, that one we're not including because neither of us tried it. So we were debating these two. We didn't even talk about that one.
Well, we know nothing about
Yeah.
it. You know.
So Mike D made his homemade. We did another home cooked meal.
Yes.
So Mike D made actually pretty dang good shredded chicken tacos.
It was Mexican style shredded chicken.
Yeah.
Which was really good. It was super easy to make. It's crockpot food, so
Yeah. Just throw it in a crock pot, let it go for a little bit,
Yep.
and magic happens.
Yes,
Because that's the magic of crock pots.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. Yes.
Low temp and
it's
long
actually
time.
good for you. Low calorie.
Oh, we don't need all that nonsense.
I need that. Dude, I went down 11 pounds.
Heck yeah, man. I know.
Yeah, man.
I'm proud of you. But also.
Well, that's kind of why I made it. I kind of wanted to eat late.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it was really
We're going to
good.
get back some.
Well, picnic last week was dang heavy.
Yes, that was very
very good, though.
But no, it to me that was what I made is good whiskey food.
Oh, hell yeah, it was.
Because we got tortillas, we got
Well, you have all the condiments that go along with a good taco,
Yes.
right? So you have like the pickled jalapenos, you had like the pico de gallo, then you had like this really good taco sauce that was
Yes.
like red jalapenos, which was actually really freaking
really
good.
good. Yeah, it's good.
was
It's from
really
Trader
good.
It's Trader
and of course,
Joe's.
it's like whatever bag cheese.
Yeah,
To me, it's like, whatever.
It's just Mexican style cheese from
you don't
like
care
a
about
craft.
that, yeah.
But that taco sauce I got from
taco,
Trader Joe's,
yeah.
it's an organic taco sauce, and I've been actually eating that for a couple of years now.
It's pretty solid.
It's very good,
Yeah.
very good. It's got a nice spice behind, but not overspiced.
No,
it doesn't
actually,
overtake the food.
You need it with the pickled
Yes,
jalapenos, in my
yes,
opinion.
Yes,
If you want to get to that right spice level, but my opinion is
yes,
the cider cask neat wins.
I agree. Neat with that dish goes perfect. I
Yeah.
think because it's light. It's got it kind of like offsets the spicy from what you just talked about, and it kind of gives you that creamy finish.
Yeah.
Goes perfect with that dish.
I think it would.
Yes.
Which is weird pairing, like, an American whiskey from Virginia with like Tex-Mex type
food, or
Yeah.
Mexican food. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good. It actually, I think it would pair really well with the spice.
And I know I talked
flavor
about this a couple
profile.
weeks ago. I haven't done it, and I'm going to get off my butt tomorrow, and I'm actually going to update the website.
Okay.
I'm going to add frisky recipes, and it's going to have recipes for drinks. I'm going to send links to all our ones that we've tried that have good recipe sites.
Yeah, that's a good.
And I'm also going to throw some of our food recipes on there now that we make ourselves. Like I need your method of doing a reverse here.
That's easy enough. I'll throw it on there. I don't mind.
And then I'm gonna I'm gonna put the recipe for what I just made tonight, which crockpot. I mean, this was like rotelli tomatoes, frozen chicken breasts, can of corn, can of black beans, more rotelli tomatoes on top of that, and then like a ton of taco seasoning.
Yeah.
And taco seasoning of choice.
Yeah.
And just one of those things where like.
Make your own, actually.
And just one of those things though, like after you add your taco seasoning, after you make it right, and you have to shred the chicken at hour 3. After 3 hours, you pull the breasts out, you shred them up, and throw it back in there. Cook another hour, then you taste it. At that point, you decide how much more taco seasoning you need.
Gotcha.
And it's to taste.
Yeah.
And so I think I threw about, I was just using, honestly, I was using our local grocery store, their own taco seasoning packs. And I basically, it was like 4 taco packs.
Okay.
1.5 in the very beginning, 1.5 on top at the end.
I kind of want to do it, and I want to do over the top taco seasoning and like get my own dried chilies and then like roast them up and then like grind them up. And
You're that kind of guy.
I want to try it out. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Plus, if it's a good enough like rub, maybe it might make on some ribs that I make or something, or my pulled pork,
Have you made pulled pork before?
Hell yeah, I've done. You've had my pulled pork before. Yeah.
Because I know that
With my homemade slaw.
That's a challenge, man, making pulled pork. Because it has that moment where
It goes quick.
But it also but when you're cooking it, when you're smoking it, there's that moment where it something with the muscle or something like that, where it doesn't cook anymore for a time period. And you got to figure all that out, and then continue cooking it again. If you don't do it right, you can kill the pork, like I did last year when I tried making that.
I know we don't talk about it.
Yes,
You told me not to bring it up anymore, and I've done my deed. But yes, you've had my pulled pork with my homemade slaw because I do a vinegar slaw.
Yeah, you make a very good slaw.
Yeah, I do a vinegar slaw.
I like a vinegar slaw over a mayonnaise slaw. That's my preference.
So I guess I need to make another pork butt because obviously you don't remember.
I know.
And just another reason for me to make some
I mean,
more
we've had so
barbecue.
much brisket and ribs and
I know.
beef ribs in between that, like, I don't remember.
I know. That's
You
fair.
know. All right, so I think let's clean our glasses out.
Absolutely.
We're gonna hit the Chardonnay cast. This should be really good.
Should be.
Should be really good.
All right.
All right, so let's clean. Let's get a little cleaning going on here.
Thank you, sir. Oh, boy, we're getting fireworks going already.
They're challenging us. That's a challenge, dude.
I think it was.
Oh my god!
I think we got some stuff in the garage, too. I'm going to get this open
Maybe
for you.
we'll, because I got my daughter and her friend here tonight.
Woo!
Maybe we'll kick off. Maybe I'll grab a couple of my little things from my box, my little pack, and then maybe we'll kick off like maybe one Roman candle or something.
We can do that.
You know?
We can do that.
Because I don't like being challenged. Because we're actually going to destroy our neighborhood in terms of the show we're going to.
I brought some artillery. I'm just saying.
Yes, and I have a couple of good shows to throw down too.
Yeah.
So okay, so we are doing now the Chardonnay cask.
Yeah. So this one we're gonna have.
This is going to be really interesting because Chardonnay is a very light drinking type of wine to me.
It's light and sweet, in my opinion.
So the nose is talking about lemon zest,
Which that looks really
green
good.
apple, and honeysuckle. Mm-hmm. And then the taste, which honestly, a lot of Chardonnays have this kind of pairing: a pear, vanilla, spices, baking spices, and creamy. So a lot of Chardonnays are like that. A lot of Chardonnays have that pear, vanilla. You have to look for the creamy Chardonnays, but there are a lot out there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them have those spices too. So this is gonna be really interesting. I'm very, very curious. Here we go.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. America.
Ooh, that smells nice. Dang. Okay. Whew.
Maybe we dare have my wife try it tonight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. My wife likes our Chardonnay. She's a Chardonnay girl.
Maybe she can pull out the flavors for us. That's a very good smell.
Don't taste it. I would say clear your
I already
palate
did.
out. I did.
Yeah. So I'm not really getting the lemon zest right now, but I'm definitely getting the green apple.
Definitely green apple. If there's lemon in there, I have no idea. There's no lemon in there. I can't pull that out. Because lemon to me would be a very distinct scent. I would say green apple.
Oh, there it is.
What?
One nostril.
Which nostril?
Just pick the one that you like the most. I don't know.
Let me see if my hand goes. Okay.
Which one do you pick first? It's right there. It's super light.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, interesting with the whole half nostril thing.
That's when it comes out. That's actually really cool.
That's interesting.
Oh, you can smell it. Okay.
So now, like I said, our taste is going to be pear, vanilla, baking spices, and creamy.
Wow. There is absolutely no spice.
No. But that is like,
Hold on.
the cider and the Chardonnay are very close to each other, though.
I would actually argue that.
No, because
The
they both have
ciders-
creamy. They both have vanilla.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting that baking spice now, and that pear's coming out. Oh, that pear's there. Oh, I'm getting the pear. Oh, that is taste. You know what? I like all three of these. I really am enjoying all three of these.
I'd agree.
Shout out to my Virginia Distillery out there, and this is really good. I mean, this is great American whiskey.
It really is. Wow. Okay. So for me on the pairing, like for the taste, I've been sitting here trying to contemplate what I'm actually tasting.
This is very different.
Well, so the other two very bold flavors. This one, it's more subtle. You have to really kind of on the nose. It was even hard to pull out everything, right? Where the other ones were very bam in your face. This one's taking the more subtle approach, which I'm really liking. So when you first take the sip, right, there's not a lot of heat to this one.
No.
There's no spice at all. It's really nice and mellow.
I mean, the spices are there, but the pear comes out big time.
It's immediate.
Yeah.
Then as you're rolling to the end of it, the baking spices come out, and it just has that creamy texture.
Yep.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Vanilla I didn't get too much of, but
No, I'm not getting much of the vanillas right now.
maybe that's like at the very end.
Creamy's there.
Again, though, it's not like all of these, right? I mentioned it on the port. None of these are a very long, extended finish. Like it's pretty much, you get it down, give it a couple seconds, it's off your palate, right? You no longer have the spiciness or whatever the flavor is. But it's really nice. This is really mellow. Mm-hmm. I almost feel ashamed to put ice on it because the flavors are so light. Like this is even lighter than the cider.
Yeah, it's very light.
We still got to do it,
which makes sense with the as it being a Chardonnay. And let me see something in the bottle. Let me see what they're talking about here. Oh, I can't. Okay, here we go.
That's good. And how much was? All right, so you never actually brought the price up for the cider. How much was the cider one?
Cider one was 42.
Okay.
This one was 46. So these two were 46.
Okay. So they're in the $40 to $50 range, depending on where you end up at.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you could probably find somebody who's selling them at 50. Probably find someone who's selling them at the high 30s.
Yeah.
On average, you're going to find it in the
40 and
50, in the mid 50s, in the mid 40s. Rather.
I think in the mid 40s is the right price range for all three of these.
I mean, it's fantastic whiskey.
Yeah,
this is actually a really easy step into whiskey on this one.
Yeah,
the Chardonnay one,
and it has such a good flavor that it's not going to overbear somebody by any means.
And it's also really light, like the cider was.
Yeah.
Man, I'm impressed with all three of these.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Virginia Distillery, man.
Seriously.
Honestly, really.
Seriously.
I mean, if we're going into 4th of July, do American whiskey, this is a great American whiskey. Like, I'm going to put these guys, like, this is, I see why, like, I haven't even tried their one that won the Whiskey of the Year, but I can see, just based off what I'm trying here, that the amount of effort they're throwing into their whiskeys and trying new things and doing different things.
You know, I'm not going to lie, like, all right, so I didn't know that it was founded by an Irishman. The entire time we were sipping on them, I was trying to see if it was anything related to anything that's like an Irish whiskey at all. And there's not really. No. It's a very unique, blend. Obviously, there's Scotch blend in some of them, but this is good. I
mean, look, actually, no. All these are married with Scotch, right? They all have a marriage going on with probably an angry Scotsman.
Yeah, probably. Now we need to figure out if it's actually truly going to be worse with the ice, as I think it is.
Don't say that.
Not worse, but
that's a horrible.
Not as good.
They'll say worse.
Oh,
they'll say worse.
Lackluster.
Lackluster. I have to turn the lights on, man.
That's all right.
Man, it's getting dark.
It's all right. The camera can still see us, and everyone else just wants to hear us. Apparently, I got a good radio voice.
We've been told.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You're the voice. I'm the looks. I'm the son of a handsome man. I'll never drop that. Go. I'll never drop that.
There we go. Okay, that zest came out.
Yes, there's the zest.
It was still there before, but you had to be special.
That ice brings out that zest.
Ooh, that's pleasant. How's the flavor though? Did it die it down too much, or?
I like that on ice. I'm sorry. I like that on ice. I'm not saying I'm sorry, but like I like that on ice.
Oh wow!
I like that on ice, man. Right?
Heck yeah, dude.
Wow.
Okay, so this actually brought out. So there was never any spice with this, and it's still no spice.
But
it brought the pear to the front. Mm-hmm. It added the vanilla, so it's almost like you're drinking a dessert.
Yeah.
It really brought out those flavors.
This is really unique.
Wow.
I liked it neat, and I like it on ice. I think it's a 50-50 for me. What kind of mood I'm in? I mean, this is once again like remember I kept calling this refreshing. The first one, this is very refreshing on ice.
I agree.
I think the cider one neat 100%. Yep. I think these two you can go 50-50.
Yeah. And
on ice or neat. If it's a hot night like it is now, and I'm sweating, ice.
I actually think this one on ice would be best for a hot evening.
Yeah. Oh,
the Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That is really tasty.
Wow.
I may have my wife try this tonight.
There, man.
I think I may have my wife try this tonight. I want her Chardonnay.
Her Chardonnay nose
and taste.
Yeah.
Hit this thing, And you know what? I'm looking at the color, It's slightly darker than the cider one.
Yeah, it is. Just
obviously not as dark as the port cask.
No, the port is just red. Yeah, that's like a nice, dark amber.
See, not that I'm pairing it with food right now, but I am in my head. This would go good with a chicken, but like a baked chicken.
Oh yeah,
with like a
chicken Florentine.
Chicken Florentine, or even like a baked chicken that has like a red wine finish to it. Almost like the coq au vin we had.
Oh, yeah.
That would go very good, that coq au vin.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of which. So,
oh, boy.
So I know you went and saw our friend Christophe
at
Picnic, and shout out. I went there on Friday after we had lunch. We met you for lunch. And so I met the man who actually made that coq au vin.
Oh, nice.
And so me and Christophe was talking. He wants to come back on the show. He's like, when can I be back on the show? So I'm telling him, like, you know what? I'm going away. We have like probably a week off from doing a show. I'm thinking like maybe in August, bring both those guys on.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Both chefs.
Okay.
And hear his story. And he was from France too.
Okay.
And he's the master of that coq au vin. So
I might be able to actually like work out that show a little bit easier too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure.
We don't want it to be 2 hours for you guys, but we want it to be an adventure.
We're gonna time box it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do a couple of different things to it. But I want to see what else this guy can make.
I agree.
Like you made a coq au vin. Now maybe something different. Maybe something with lamb.
Yeah.
See
what else they can do.
And we'll do another like pairing with scotches again.
Yeah.
Like how we did.
Let's do it.
But nice guy. It was funny because he took me to the back of the kitchen. Oh, I want you to meet people back here. And I met. They have this girl that works there. They call her the daughter of Picnic, which is kind of funny. And the woman that was there that made the flour chocolate cake, she was there. It was just nice. And she was excited. She was talking to me, and she's excited to try that London Square.
Well, I mean, that London Square was the bomb.
Yes,
but it ain't about London Square tonight.
No.
It's all about this
It's
Virginia
America,
Distillery
4th of
Company.
July, and Virginia.
Heck yeah.
This is some good stuff, man.
Hey, VA Distillery, you guys crushed it. This is, I know you guys have at least, 10 other ones, 12 other ones that we haven't tried yet?
We're going to get there.
But man, these were good.
We're going to get there.
These were
We're going to make that a mission.
Freaking good.
We're going to get that Courage and Conviction series. Yeah. We're going to get there. Yeah. Definitely going to get there. Maybe we won't do maybe we'll pick up a bottle of that one I saw at Total Wine and we can mix it with something else.
We'll figure something out.
Throw it in there. But this is really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think
we're going to wrap up this evening. All right. I think episode 20 this was a solid episode.
Yes.
VA Distillery Company. You guys crushed it. Making all sorts of delicious stuff out there.
You can't go wrong with any three.
Absolutely not.
Pick up any one you want. You'll be happy.
Mike D, are we doing a cigar this evening? I think some of these actually might pair well with a cigar.
I'm thinking the port.
I think
we'll get one of those cigars by Oscar.
Oh yeah.
We'll do. We'll probably do a. I know I didn't pull it out tonight, but we're gonna do a cigar by Oscar tonight. Yeah. Which
maybe the leaf.
The leaf by Oscar.
Yeah,
sorry, leaf by Oscar. And once again, we got those from our friends out in Arizona, Fox Cigars. Yeah. Check them out online.
Yep, foxcigar.com.
Yep, they have great shipping.
Sign up for their email mailers.
Yep,
or emails, I guess. They do super awesome discounts.
Dude, we're being so challenged by
I know we are right now. Okay, we're gonna get on it.
I think, and we know we use cigars to light the fireworks. Oh.
Anyways, make sure you check us out on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to anything that we're doing, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever we're at. Make sure you follow us and like all the stuff that we do on Instagram and lets us know that we're heading in the right direction.
Yep. Subscribe
to us on YouTube. You can always see our goofy selves
on YouTube
while we're sitting there drinking, right?
Yep. And you know what? Send us a message on Instagram. A whiskey you like. We'll try it.
Yeah.
We'll share it with you.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know.
But everybody have a good night tonight. Have a happy and safe 4th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eat some good food. Throw some down good fireworks. And everybody have a good night.
Have a good one, everybody.